Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are having a most excellent Sunday. I'm filming this on a Friday, which is what I normally do with the Sunday musings, and it's raining and it's cold, and I live halfway up a mountain, which is why I've got the hat on. I've also got bad hair, so it's a bad hair day, plus I'm cold, so you've got a hat. But I'm not here to talk about the hat, I'm not here to talk about the terrible weather, I'm here to talk about modifying your car. So this week, a company in Canada came out with a new piece of kit that you can add to a Tesla Model 3 that unlocks, I think it's extra 50 horsepower for a standard Tesla Model 3, which is something that Tesla now lets you do via over-the-air software updates, but it's pretty expensive, and this new piece of kit allows you to do it without going to Tesla in the first place. There's also a second stage to that kit that allows you to even add a front-wheel drive setup. If your car is a rear-wheel drive Tesla Model 3, you can actually add a front-wheel drive system to it, unlock it in software, and then before you know it, you have a performance dual-motor Model 3, even if that's not what you purchase. Now, I've got some thoughts about what Tesla's going to do when it interacts with customers who've done this, but frankly, I personally don't see a big problem with it because I've been modifying cars for years. You know, I used to have a 1961 Morris Minor Traveller. It had a K-series engine in it, which developed a crazy amount of horsepower. It had a straight cut gearbox, a Type 9 gearbox. It had a limited slip differential out of a Ford Escort Mexico rally car. It went very quickly. It went sideways very quickly, and it was great fun and I loved it. It was a bit of a crazy car, but I've also had other modified vehicles that were maybe not quite so crazy. I had a Toyota Prius, which I converted into a plug-in hybrid. I added 2 extra Prius battery packs in parallel to the original one, added a box of tricks from a guy in Canada, again in Canada. All the cool stuff seems to come from Canada these days. And I can say that because I'm half Canadian. Added the extra bits to my Prius, and I had a plug-in Prius that did about 20 miles in EV mode. This was back in 2007, 2008. I sadly killed it because I wasn't paying attention to setting the system up. So I'll take that on the chin, and that was my fault. But back to this box of tricks that you can plug into your Tesla Model 3. It means that you can effectively upgrade your car as and when you want to, without going to Tesla and paying a large amount of money for the process. And it also means, I believe, that people who have cars that Tesla wouldn't unlock can now unlock that extra performance. So some of the early Model 3s, I'm sure that you could probably unlock those and gain that extra performance, lower your acceleration times, and just have a more powerful car. My question though is that something that you would be interested in personally? Are you someone who is willing and able to make modifications to your vehicle, or pay someone to make modifications to your vehicle? Or are you in the club of people, and there's a very large number of people who's like, this is not how the car was stock, I prefer my vehicles to be stock, no modifications, no nothing. I'm curious to see where you sit on that and why you feel that way. Obviously, as I've said, I'm pro modification. I've modified several vehicles over the years, whether it's adding an extra set of batteries or a different battery cell chemistry to a car I once owned, which increased its top speed by about 20 miles per hour, which when the car had a top speed of 30 miles per hour originally is pretty crazy. Obviously, we've got the project car coming, which is going to be basically a bit of an EV mishmash of used and recycled components, because that's something we're really trying to promote on the channel. But obviously, even things like adding a tow hitch to my Chevrolet Bolt EV, that is essentially a modification that I have done to my car willingly. So is this something that you're excited about? Are you excited that as an owner, you can add things to your car or change things to your car with off-the-shelf hardware or specialist third-party hardware that you can buy, plug into your car and modify it? Or are you someone that's like, no, the car left the factory this particular way and that's the way it's going to stand? I have different opinions to modifications depending on what the modification is, but generally I'm pro modification. How about you? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can support us using one of the links below. Thanks to the people who are scrolling by on my right. They are our patrons, our lovely $15 a month patrons. If you want to become one of them, you get to have your name up on this lovely scrolling wall next to me. Also, don't forget that we'll be bringing more content for you next week. I am just about done for this week. We've got a special announcement. It's either going to be next week or the week after. And then for the July 4th week, we're actually all taking a week off. We're hoping there'll be content, but we all need a break. We've decided to all take a break and take a week off. So I'll see you next week. Until next time, keep evolving.